Whatever question may be on your mind, think about, future stories, what's the trends in Raleigh. So we just want to start this as a first one, and then hopefully maybe every couple of months or so, but, working with Robin Deacle and the communications department for the city. So that's sort of the backdrop to this. I can give you just a little, context playing off of Anna's question about, like, is there going to be another, big announcement or big things? We're coming out of this super expansionary period for the city of Raleigh where all the money was flowing, ARPA dollars, and one of, my responsibilities as mayor and this city council is trying to keep those projects moving and bring them to fruition. I mean, you saw Gibson Play Plaza, which was not an ARPA project, but, that's come to fruition. Feel great about that, obviously, having been involved with it. The Rust Bus, that project, now you're seeing, of course, the convention center expansion, Red Hat. So some of these big, the DMV site, dollars that were flowing, let's bring those home and complete those projects. We're now in a more contractionary period. And so I was just over at the NCDOT summit this morning. Great crowd over there, 1,000+ people. Governor was there, head of the chamber was there. They did have an undersecretary. I use those opportunities to try and make sure that money does keep flowing to Raleigh. We are, I told them this morning, you come into this county and you see cranes in the sky, you see construction, you see bulldozers. This is all positive, and I know a lot of the sentiment becomes, well, Raleigh's so wealthy, those people can pay for everything themselves, they're booming. And just convincing them that, we want to do our part. We are investing, but we really need the partnership with the state and the federal government, because even with the increase of prosperity in this area, as you saw on Six Forks and other projects, right, the 50% increase in land values over a short period of time plus inflation meant some of the traditional models of building infrastructure just weren't working as well, under that cauldron of issues. So we do need assistance on big projects like the bus rapid transit, like major highways, bridges, et cetera. So I use every opportunity. I also did go to Capitol Hill several months ago. I actually talked to about 8 of our congressional delegation, and that was my number one issue, was to lobby for transportation dollars, and then secondarily things like housing dollars. Again, we're a wealthy and prosperous community, but affordable housing, the subsidy for units like on that Rust Bus was going to be $200,000 a unit subsidy. I mean, that's an incredible amount of money, right, to get one unit of affordable housing. So, it is expensive to do these projects. So moving from expansionary to contractionary, trying to keep things moving. The other issues, was that we all campaigned on keeping housing. We know that anything we can do to encourage private sector to do housing and projects in general, I think this council wants to see units coming online. And I will say I see the housing market as supply and demand. I mean, the more units you have, then that's going to affect the entire market. I think a lot of people argue that there's this, it's just affordable housing. We don't need other housing. I think we need it all. Public safety, is the other big topic. I feel great about Chief Boyce. I know he just had his session yesterday. Violent crimes flat, property crimes down 12%. I think all that's, good news. Hopefully, we can get the violent crime, reductions as well. I have told, both Chief Boyce and I've talked to candidates running for the district attorney. It's the quality of life stuff that I hear the most about. I mean, this is a fairly safe community. I mean, any homicide is one too many. But what I really hear about is trash, panhandling, noise, all of those things that may not be quite as, dramatic, or they're not in the courthouses, but they're very important to a quality of life and keeping investing. And I recently was I saw the panelist, Commissioner Tisch from New York City, where they're investing in these Q teams, quality of life teams. So I don't think Raleigh's alone in understanding that all of those smaller, daily grind issues do matter. We do need to address them. And I think you're seeing this council look at things like the noise ordinance, some of the panhandling on highways, as well as this is now litter pickup season. So when I was at DOT, just thanking Hopkins for his leadership on that and some of the other quality of life. And then the resilience issues, we're so fortunate that we have not had, the issues of Western North Carolina, and, certainly stand by continuing to assist our other cities and partners as they recover. Even more recently, like Chapel Hill with some of their flooding, did reach out to that mayor and City of Raleigh staff. Some of our inspectors assisted there in trying to get some of those buildings back up after the flood. So we want to make sure, we're still investing. I feel like one of the most, undercovered or reported is just how strong our water system is, how much investment we're putting in that. I mean, we have $1 billion over the next 25 years. And I think partially because it's working pretty well, you just, take it for granted. And that has really enabled, the growth of this area where we don't have these water constraints that some other cities do. So I would say in general, feel pretty good about that. But I'll stop there. But those are the, the big buckets of what we're thinking about. And if, again, any questions y'all have, this is just a chance for you, to anything that's on your mind.